guys, it's Saturday. It's my day off, and I'm home here enjoying my relaxation, cooking my nice little meals, which I will share with you guys later on. But first, I have some interesting things to talk to you guys about. And that's what's been happening in our government these past 3 weeks. I want to cover Elon Musk. I want to talk about his stocks. What's happening with his businesses since he took part in our government, and he's in the White House in Washington. And guess what, guys? We didn't vote for him. What the hell's he doing there? Is this a corporation's takeover? Is Donald Trump the vice president or the president? Where the heck is Vance? You don't hear about him on the news, do you? But anyways, what's happening right now is nothing short of a rollback. They're rolling back everything that was created by our government according to our Constitution, our civil rights, everything that human beings need to get a fair shake in this world is being deconstructed. So before I continue, I want to say thank you to all of my subscribers and to those people just visiting my channel for the first time. If you guys hear something or see something that resonates with you, then please consider on subscribing. We'll be right back with more.
I'm not suggesting anything so complicated.
Okay, so now back to where I left off. We've all seen birds fly south for the winter, because birds want to go to a climate where it's warmer and it's better for their migrating. Okay? We're not that much different from birds, are we? Sometimes birds fly away and they're not necessarily heading south. Sometimes they're just flying away. When they sense danger or inclement weather, they fly away. But when birds fly away in flocks and it's not migrating season, or it's not for the winter, like for example, they come to Florida where it's warmer, or maybe south of Georgia or something like that, most likely Florida. If the birds are in Florida already, they're not going to go north. Those other birds stay here all the time. But anyway, what I'm trying to get at is this. As human beings, when we feel that there's something in the air that just doesn't feel right, listen to your inner instinct. I'm going to cut to the chase. Ever since President Trump came into office, I've been getting these feelings, these funny vibrations, and they're all negative. It's just like when COVID-19 happened. How can viruses travel so fast within a matter of days, it's already in the United States, something that originated in Wuhan, China, or wherever you want to call it, in a meat market outside. Virus from bats. Well, that was debunked pretty quickly. But that myth was something that Republicans said really happened. You know? But anyways, let's go back to what's happening right now. 3 weeks later that Donald Trump is in office. Right now, as we're talking, Republicans are putting together their plan that they call Project 25. I don't know a whole lot about Project 25, okay? I really don't. And everything I'm going to talk to you about is things that I've been witnessing on different platforms, whether it's the mainstream media, which I don't trust too much depending who's doing it. If it's Fox, you can bet your bottom dollar that I'm not going to waste my time or my breath on Fox. I've been watching this MSNBC. I've been watching this on separate hundreds of YouTube channels, which have gained traction upwards of about millions of subscribers and millions of views altogether. It's incredible. To me, it's my main source of going to find out what's happening, because other YouTubers are not making this shit up. What I see happening ever since Donald Trump came into office is this. He makes up stories that sounds like it's coming out of a child's book. Jack and the Beanstalk climbed a tree. The Little Red Riding Hood. It's no different than what Donald Trump's talking about. Before he was elected, he made promises to Americans, and that was improve our economy. Okay? Cut the prices of groceries. Lower the prices of eggs. And by the way, they talk a lot about eggs on the news, like that's the only thing that we need. We only need eggs, guys. You can keep all the millions. We can keep just the eggs. All we want is the eggs. It's more than eggs. But even the media throws that in our face. The eggs are going up. The eggs are going up. The cost to buy a vehicle is going up. The cost to sustain your vehicle is going up. The fuel, tune-ups, all that stuff. Home prices are going up. The economy's going up. It's a lot of stuff, guys. It's a lot of stuff. I went grocery shopping today, and I probably bought 20 items, and it was like $80. I didn't even go to Publix. I went to Walmart, which is supposed to be the cheapest. Half of their bay where the eggs are kept is empty. It's like when the birds fly south. Well, what happens is people flock to the supermarkets and they attack everything that they think the price is going to go up or it's going to increase or whatever. The first thing that they hit was the eggs, because every channel is broadcasting eggs. Oh my God, the eggs are going up. Donald Trump never uses the word groceries. Groceries. That's a strange word. Groceries. Of course he never uses the word groceries. You think he's going to go grocery shopping? You think Melania is going to go grocery shopping? I doubt it very much. So anyways, the correlation between the birds and the people is this. When birds who are flying away when it's not wintertime or migration season, sometimes they hear thunder in the distance and lightning. Sometimes they sense that even though it's summertime, something is about to happen, guys. It could be a tornado. It could be a hurricane. They leave. But they get these feelings early on, okay? Days before the hurricane or a week before the hurricane or the tornado is going to strike. They leave because they have instincts just like we do. Well, guess what? When I first caught wind of Project 2025, the only thing I thought about was this: a holocaust. All right? I equated it to a holocaust about to happen. Here's why. Project 25 was put together by, his name is Russell Vought. Russell Vought will be responsible for handling all the federal monies in our country. All the paychecks for federal employees, okay, or federal employers. He will decide what project that the U.S. can contribute to, whether it's healthcare or whether it's financial aid to institutions, Medicaid, education, defense contracts, all that stuff. Child welfares, Meals on Wheels, you name it. And it goes further than that. It goes deep, it goes wide, and it goes further. He's in charge of everything. So right now as we speak, Elon Musk, who is Donald Trump's sidekick, is working separately with a bunch of 19-year-olds and 25-year-olds going through our federal finances and finding out where all the money's going. Last week, they froze all the monies that's in our federal government. And not only that, but they get to see all our social security numbers. They get to see our bank balances. They know what we're investing in. And that's not something that anybody thought was going to happen. It's not something that anybody thought was going to happen, and it's happening. I didn't think this was going to happen. I didn't vote for Donald Trump. For me, at my job, to keep people from talking to me or making funny faces at me is just tell them I voted for Donald Trump. No, I didn't. I voted for Kamala Harris. Because if anybody has a half a brain, will remember what happened January 6th of last year, at the end of Donald Trump's term, when he didn't want to give up any power, okay? Where he coerced thousands of people, about 1,500 people, that the vote was stolen, that Joe Biden isn't the real president or whatever, okay? He's the one that incited the insurrection at our state's capital. Every one of those people, to me, are losers. They're nothing but losers. And so is this president. They call him Agent Orange. That's him. So anyways, before all this started happening, I started feeling like the birds. I know that Project 2025, to me, in my heart, feels like it's going to be another holocaust of a different kind. So what's happened these past 3 weeks? Well, ICE has gone around and ICE has rounded up all the illegal immigrants, people that are here undocumented, Mexicans, Colombians, Venezuelans. These people that are being rounded up by immigration and ICE and being transported back to their countries, especially the Venezuelans. They said that 350,000 Venezuelans supported Donald Trump. Okay? Every one of these nationalities supported Donald Trump to some capacity. Okay? You see, Donald Trump is the biggest liar that ever was. And he's a salesman. When it comes to speeches and creating smoke screens, he's the guy. He does it all, and people fall for it. And it's just horrible. It's just horrible. Right now, as I speak to you, he's in West Palm Beach playing golf at Mar-a-Lago, while Elon Musk and his little minions are in the state capitol going through the IRS, people's savings, people's investments, seeing what's what and who's who and where's all the cash going. How would you like it if you know that someone, which is happening, is right now going through your finances? People that have no right to be there. What confuses me is this. If all these things are illegal, like the Democrats are saying, that it's unconstitutional, why aren't they just stopping them? Why don't we round up millions of people to invade the Capitol? And the Republicans and Russell Vogt are doing these things at light speed. Light speed. 3 weeks. Look what's happened already. It's the Republicans. It's Agent Orange, President Agent Orange, and Russell Vogt's plan to move swiftly. If you think about it, you say to yourself, well, wait a minute. They can get a lot done within a couple months. A lot done. Our federal government is technically shut down. We have no safety people working for our federal aviation. Our airlines have no oversight. Okay? And if they do got people there, they don't belong there. They got people that Trump appointed that have no experience. Look who the hell is the head of defense. This loser who worked at Fox. Donald said, oh, I like that guy. I like the way he talks. I think I'll make him head of defense. Oh, I like that woman there. I like how she talks. I'll make her my press secretary. Do you know that President Trump picked Ed McMahon's wife as part of her cabinet? Ed McMahon. Who's Ed McMahon? Ed McMahon took over his father's business called WWF, wrestling. In the beginning, my family loved watching WWF wrestling. My father was big into that. It was interesting. It was entertainment. Fast forward the past 5 years, This guy, Ed McMahon, he was a sexual predator, a sexual abuser of women that worked for him at WWF. Trying to bribe them for sex and paying them, all kind of crazy stuff. Grabbing them and trying to kiss them and threatening them. Paying them off so he doesn't get sued. His wife is in Donald Agent Orange administration. I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. Not a single bit. So Donald Trump is going through every federal position or post in our government to fire everybody. He's cleaning house. He's cleaning house. From federal judges to the head of our health department. You know who's the head of our health department, right? Robert F. K. is the head of our department. Officially, I was going to go vote for RFK. I worked in his campaign. I did. I joined his campaign team here where I live. And I was passing out leaflets and stickers, bumper stickers, pins to put on your lapel or whatever. As time went on, I was also contributing to his campaign. Like $10 a month or whatever it was. But then I stopped it because I knew he wasn't going to win. His numbers were too low. But after I stopped payment to his campaign, I started reading more about him. You see, I liked RFK because I am a Kennedy fan. But he's not like the Kennedy. He's a lunatic. I was going to vote for a lunatic to be president. But then the lunatic stops his campaign for presidency and joins Agent Orange. That's when I knew we were going to be in trouble. That's when I voted for Kamala Harris. So we're talking about the Republicans and Agent Orange rolling back history, eliminating people's rights, programs that millions of people count on, children's programs, health care, Medicaid, Veterans Affairs programs for our veterans that defended our country. Okay? Last week, they froze Medicaid. Last week, a lot of agencies went to write paychecks for people who work for these programs, and they couldn't. And they're not done yet. They're not done yet. Okay? They're not done yet. So what's happening right now with all the panic and the fear is exactly the blueprint of Project 2025. To cause chaos and mayhem, place fear in people. When that happens, people will come together and they'll realize even the people who voted for Donald Trump are having buyer's remorse. They're seeing it for what it is. You see, the people that voted for Trump, a lot of them didn't want a biracial or black woman to be president. They'd rather have the price of eggs go up tenfold. I'd rather pay $20 for a carton of eggs as long as that black woman doesn't get in office. That's the mentality of people who are not educated, who cannot learn from the past, and now they're going to suffer the consequences. Okay? Even the people that didn't vote for this Agent Orange is going to suffer to some degree. If you've been following MSNBC and other news or podcasts, you would hear Donald Trump saying that we're going to feel some pain from all this stuff. Of course, it's going to be more than some pain. It's going to be a lot of pain. A lot of single mothers are going to be struggling 10 times more. Children who are waiting for their programs at the beginning of summer, the Head Start programs, are not going to have nothing to go to when school's out. So that's how it is. It's horrible. It's horrible. A lot of the panic began last week when Donald Trump started making threats to Canada, Mexico, Panama, China. They were threats, but these are threats coming from Agent Orange, who has no experience with real politics. He makes up a cause, he makes up a problem, he creates a problem, and then he creates a solution for the problem that he started. He told Mexico that they need to put 10,000 troops at their borders to prevent fentanyl from coming into this country. Does he not know that we know that Mexico already have troops there? 15,000 troops at the border already, assisting our Border Patrol agents? This is the kind of president we have. Agent Orange. A lot of people that voted for Donald Trump in the millions do not follow politics. They don't effing know anything. They just go along with him and they believe what he says, even though he's an effing liar. Okay? Everything this guy says is a fear-mongering thing. He makes promises, then he backs up on it. Okay? He cancels programs that he started in his first term. His first term, he had DEI in our federal government. All our federal government jobs had DEI. All the corporations had DEI. Okay? He pushed it. In his second term, with Republicans called the MAGA Party are the white supremacists that are horribly racist. They pick on minority groups, the disadvantaged, the handicapped. They'll attack programs because they think that trans people do not need any medical help with what they're going through. They focus on the group of people that are the smallest out of all in our country. Trans people only make up 1% of the whole population. But we all know the story. Less than 10 people, college athletes, got involved in women's sports, and they started to kick their ass. Naturally, that can happen if they were a born boy. Even though the testosterone is totally eliminated from their body, muscles do have memory. Okay? The hormones they take cannot change their bony structure in their body. So they'll always appear to be bigger with their frame. Okay? So they brought all this attention towards them that could have been prevented. But they didn't. They forged ahead with their goals in swimming or running or boxing. And naturally, they defeated the women, and they made a big stink about it. So what the Republicans did was they found a smokescreen to divert your attention to what their goals really are, which is Project 2025. Okay? So they ran on trans issues, they ran on immigration, and they ran on Mexicans bringing fentanyl into this country, migrant workers, and the past two weeks, they've been rounding up the immigrants, rounding up anybody who's undocumented to go back to their country. So what do they do really? Okay, they run on immigration, the cost of groceries, the economy, the cost of housing, right? They promised it. Okay? And they held some of their promises. They didn't keep their promise on the economy and the groceries and the cost of living, because that's still going up. But they did violate thousands of people's rights, mainly migrants and immigrants from Venezuela, Mexico, and other countries, to deport them, causing those markets where they were working in to be unsupported. Our farmers have anybody working in the farm. These people who are being deported worked in our farm. They worked in restaurants. They worked in kitchens. They worked in hospitals. They worked in hotels. And some of them worked in our aviation airline companies. Okay? They would get in these buggies and they would drive your luggages inside the planes. And then, of course, they attacked DEI. They're saying that, because if you do read the translation of DEI and what makes that up, they wanted to treat everybody fairly by having these people with special handicaps that they felt can do their jobs to be treated fairly and to have good jobs with good benefits and all that stuff. They wanted women, number one. The number one people that benefit from DEI were white women, because they don't make as much money as men do. There isn't much leadership in those roles where women can become a CEO or a president or a manager. They wanted equal playing field for women, all right? Minorities, they wanted African Americans to keep thriving as they are, and with the education, and they can have jobs in the colleges or the hospitals, in the federal government especially. Okay? And they said, Agent Orange and his administration said that they want superior beings, superior people that are highly intelligent in the fields of the federal government, the defense, in our court systems, in our judicial systems, in education, all those jobs in the federal government. But what happened was, it just didn't end there. It overspilled into America, Okay? So what happened? So companies and retail chains removed DEI from their corporations. So now the people or minorities who work in these other jobs outside the federal government have no protections. Have no protections. It goes for African Americans, it goes for the Hispanics, it goes for all of those people that are not white, because they feel that the Caucasian population, that their jobs are being stolen. The immigrants are coming here and taking all their jobs away. If you really think about it, Mexicans, Venezuelans, Latins, they're actually doing the jobs that a lot of white folks don't like doing. They're working in our farms. They're working in the kitchen in these restaurants, cooking. They're cleaning. They're doing a lot of landscaping. If you come to Florida, you'll see hundreds of these Mexicans working very hard. Where I live, our HOA, we have Hispanics, Mexicans, Latins cutting our grass, all right? Trimming our trees, painting the homes, replacing the roofs. They're not criminals, they're hardworking. If they're here legally, then they're also Americans also, okay? And if they have children, then their children are Americans. So that's the other problem. The other problem is they're trying to end birthright citizenship. That is so unprecedented. But even though they're doing all these things, the major thing that they're doing is they're rolling out Project 2025. That's what they're doing. And basically, Project 2025 is going to roll back the civil rights, civil liberties, our human rights, our basic human rights to choose how we want to live our lives. I mean, it's already apparent in how they treat women. They're trying to say that women cannot have an abortion, even though it's her body. Russell Vogt believes whether you got raped, whether you had a child by accident, or if your doctor tells you that your child is going to be retarded or have some kind of a problem in child development at an early stage in a pregnancy, then it's your choice to whether you want to bring a retarded baby into society. That's your choice. You know, Christians believe that you have no choice. If you're pregnant, you're going to have that child. Okay, whether you were raped, whether the child's going to have some kind of physical problems or mental problems, it doesn't matter. You're going to have that child. You can't pick. Okay. It's just like saying that when a 3-year-old is telling their mother and father that they feel like a little girl or a little boy inside, and they've gone to all the psychiatric evaluations, and they're found to have gender identity, then they don't agree with that. Okay? They're saying that they can't make any choices until they're 18. And then even when they're 18, now they're saying they can't. They will not support you. The other massive thing that's happening is this. All these fires that happen in California, you know what Agent Orange says? We're going to leave it up to the states to handle their natural disasters. Because we're going to get rid of FEMA. I almost had a job with FEMA. People who work for FEMA go through a very rigorous background check, number one. And you have to get a special identification card to be affiliated with FEMA. I know that. Criminals do not get hired by FEMA. Drug cartels do not get hired by FEMA. You have to be a citizen. You have to have a clean background check. In most states, those politicians say that they've had nothing but help from FEMA. But Agent Orange says it's a waste of money. Imagine living in California and your house is destroyed. Thousands of homes destroyed, burned to the ground. Only the chimneys are standing up. You have no home to go to. And your FEMA support is running out and you can no longer stay at a hotel. Where are you going to go? You know how long it takes for insurance companies to come around all these thousands of people? So they can start cleaning up and rebuilding? It's a devastation. What kind of a president is this? It's Project 2025. We're going to give the people a shock and awe. Okay? And when I hear this, I close my eyes and I see the Jewish people in lines with big stars in their chest. And they just go. They didn't put up a fight. They got in the trains. They stood there. 6 million people just stood there. Not all of them. There were some heroes, and some of the heroes were German. I understand this. But 6 million of them just went to their deaths. You're going to go take a shower. We're going for a ride on the box trains. They had their heads shaved. These white supremacists are like neo-Nazis. That's what they're. They're like neo-Nazis. Adolf Hitler was a racist. Do you think he'd like to see Jesse Owens running around the racetrack and beating all the stupid-ass Germans? No, he didn't. He didn't like that at all, not one bit. But Jesse Owens come back to the United States a hero. Right now, we're stripping Jesse Owens' ancestors their rights to have an opportunity in this world. His nephews, his great-grand-nephews, their rights. Martin Luther King's ancestors, my ancestors, your family, and your friends, and your co-workers, and your neighbors are going to suffer. Are going to suffer. So, anyways, guys, I said enough. I don't know if I made any sense. I know I'm probably going to lose some more subscribers out of this, but you know what? I got to be true to myself. I got to be true to myself, and I'm true to myself. I live my life how I want. I don't want to live in the government to tell me when I can fart. I don't want to live in the government that tells me how much I can withdraw out of my checking. I don't want to live in the government that's going to tell everybody, hey, guess what, guys? We're getting rid of that. We're going to get rid of paper money. You're going to live on a credit system just like China. All I ask for my American friends and family is stop buying Teslas. Let's give it back to Elon Musk and Agent Orange. Elon Musk is an immigrant. He came to this country and he became a billionaire because we allowed him to. We allowed him to. For the past 10 years, that guy has been working with Donald Trump, Russell Vought, and the creators of Project 2025 to hold back all the funds that's already appropriated by Congress to be distributed to those agencies and those programs that they're supposed to. Something that Ronald Reagan never had a problem with. But this guy, you know what? The last time a president got, you know when it was? We know when it was. November 22nd, 1963. So anyways, guys, I don't want to see any more. I don't know what's going to happen with YouTube, but I try to keep it respectful. But you know what? A lot of Americans are losing their patience. I hope you guys have a nice evening, and I'll talk to you guys soon.